So let me ask you a question. What is the most valuable resource that you have as a salesperson or business owner who sells right now? Now the answer, of course, is your time. We only have 24 hours in a day, and quite frankly, you've got to sleep a little, so your time is really the single most valuable resource that you have. Yet most salespeople are spending their day as if they have unlimited amounts of time, and so that way they're running out at the end of the day. So in this video, I'm going to show you what's your salesperson daily schedule, the key to good sales habits. Check it out. Number one, remove non-sales clutter. So one of my mentors used to always say that we always, as salespeople, want to be doing only the activities that get us paid. Everything else in our day, in the workday, that is not helping us make more money is clutter. So what we want to do is remove all of that non-sales clutter. So if you're not on the phone with a prospect or on a Zoom or face-to-face or working on a proposal, then don't do it. All of that other operational stuff, the things that are being pulled in other directions, people asking us for favors, you've got to get that stuff off of your table so that way you can spend all of your time on the things that get you paid. Because let's face it, let's say right now you're spending probably 3, maybe 4 hours a day on the things that get you paid. If you could increase that number to 6 or 7 or 8 hours a day, suddenly you're doubling the amount of time that you're actually spending on sales. You're doubling your productivity. So removing all of the non-clutter is the first key to being much more successful and ultimately refining those habits to make sure that you make more money. Number two, don't say yes to people. Now, this may sound like, are you telling me to be a jerk to people? Well, kind of. Here's the thing, is that most people who are in sales are natural people pleasers. And what we want to do is get out of the habit of just pleasing anybody out there. We only say yes to the people that are, again, are likely good prospects. All of those other people, whether it's people in your organization that are just asking you for a favor, or the random prospect who we're not even sure is actually qualified yet, asks you to do something, we don't want to immediately say yes to those people. We've got to remember that saying yes to all of those people is what actually keeps us from doing what has to be done. I was just reading a book about George Washington, and he spent so much of his day just responding to everyday people's letters. It's like, George, stop responding to the letters and focus on being the first president of the United States. That's exactly how we have to be in sales. Be ruthless with your time. Say no to people way more often. That's okay, because ultimately what matters is that you're doing your job, you're doing the absolute role that needs to be done. Get used to not saying yes to everyone. Number three, use tech to leverage your time. Now, this is really a relatively newer idea, but there are some incredible new technologies out there that allow you to essentially replicate yourself and leverage your time in a much more efficient way. So a really good example of this would be with cold email. Now, you can, for every email that you send, you can manually type it up, or you can leverage cold email automation using high levels of personalization to send just as high quality emails, but doing it by leveraging the automation and saving your time significantly. Or let's say you make phone calls. You can dial each call and take a break in between each call and thus maybe make 10 to 20 dials in an hour, or you can leverage a power dialer, which is one of the greatest dialing technologies that exists that allows you to make up to 80 to 90 dials in an hour simply because you're not wasting the time in between. Use technology to leverage your time as much as possible. If you're doing manual, time-consuming activities, chances are there are things that you can do to leverage technology to be more efficient. Number four, have a virtual assistant. I know not every single person out there is saying, oh yeah, of course I can get a virtual assistant, but There are sites like Upwork.com that allow you to find someone who will do the grunt work for you at $5 to $10 an hour. So I'm talking about all of that research that you're doing of prospects, or all of that kind of manual labor that's slowing your day down and pulling you away from actually being in front of prospects. We can actually outsource all of that dirty, slow, laborious work at a really low hourly rate, and that allows us to spend all of our time in front of the prospects that we want to be in front of. Having a virtual assistant is absolutely critical, whether you're a business owner or even an everyday salesperson who has the opportunity to really outsource that stuff. Remember, if you're making $30, $40, $50 an hour, then outsourcing some of that other stuff at $5 an hour is going to have a huge knock-on effect and allow you to make a lot more money in commissions. Number 5, only do what makes you money. I've already talked about this, but it's so important to come back to, because this is the key to having effective sales habits and having a really effective sales schedule. We've got to focus only on what makes us money. The more ruthless, the more completely hyper-focused we are on only doing the things that make us money, the more money you will actually make. And by the way, the data shows this too, that most salespeople are only spending about 20 to 30% of their time on truly sales-related activities every day. That is terrible, because that means that all that time that we're spent away from our family working is actually not doing anything to provide for our family in the first place. It would be like if we were hunter-gatherers and we went out hunting, but we spent, out of the 8 hours a day that we were out hunting, we spent 5 or 6 hours just skipping rocks at the beach. Maybe that's fun, but it's not helping us feed our family. We've got to stop doing all of those other things that are pulling us away from what makes us money. So there is what's your salesperson daily schedule, the key sales habits. If you enjoyed this video, then I have an amazing free training on the step-by-step formula to closing more deals. Just click right here to get registered instantly. Seriously, just click right here. This is an in-depth training that will help you close more deals at higher prices, all while generating more meetings. Also, if you got some value, please like this video below on YouTube, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking my face that should be right about here to get access to a new video just like this one each week.